traveling has been my driving force in life for the last 5 years. Whether it's by sea on my sailboat, or by land in my camper van and motorcycle, my sense of adventure has always acted as my compass. Subscribe to become a part of the journey and experience all the beautiful places and people I encounter along the way. This episode kicks off with us preparing to set sail to Long Island with a group of buddy boats. In the week leading up to this crossing, we managed to find the bolt we needed for the autopilot and made a quick fix. On top of that, we found a brand new Yamaha 15 horsepower 2-stroke outboard, which was the perfect upgrade from the 6 horsepower and exactly what I've been looking for months.
Well, this would not be a Taylor's Travels episode if all went well.
Right.
We had everybody pull out of port. Thought we'd film them, say bye, get some nice footage, you know, figured everything else would go well. Not the case. Went to hit the key, nothing. No motor, no power, nothing. So we made our own booster cables and jumped the engine battery from the house battery after everybody's been sailing for the last 20 minutes. Thank God we're the fastest boat here, right? We'll catch up.
Once we got that minor issue sorted, we were ready to pull up anchor, so I showed AJ how to work my very finicky windlass. You got it.
When you let it go, will it ever slip?
Yes.
Like when I let it go, will
No,
it slip?
it won't
Okay,
slip unless
okay.
you press up without holding it.
Okay, cool. Do you see how the anchor's going that way?
Yeah.
Taylor's gonna kind of drive the boat, because you don't want the boat to be like this and the anchor to be out there.
Right.
You're gonna end up yanking against the boat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna point my arm so Taylor can see which way to keep the anchor chain straight on.
Once the anchor's up, I always make a point of tying it off with a secondary line to ensure that it's secure. And now we were finally underway for my brother and his girlfriend's very first passage on Gypsy Moon. We're underway, it's our first crossing as a family! So yeah, we had a little bit of a rough start getting going. We did some work with the DC to DC charger, so we just kind of had to change some parameters, jump start it to get the engine fired up quickly, and then yeah, we got the anchor up and we're just pulling out of Georgetown here. And it's been a really good time so far, but it's kind of exciting to get moving again and get going again. And so how are you guys feeling about your first crossing?
Obviously never seeing the sea before, never being in salt water, never seeing islands like this. It was a sick experience. Georgetown was pretty cool. It was cool to see different cultures, obviously what life is like on a sailboat. And honestly, funny enough, super pumped to move on to the next spot. I'm excited to see the rest of it.
Yeah, see some of the more remote places and actually get these sails out.
Super pumped to get the sails up, super pumped that the motor and the whole boat is working great.
Yeah, hell yeah, me too.
There wouldn't be Taylor's Travels without issues.
Little bit.
That's what makes us strong. That's what makes us keep going on.
Hell yeah. And Nellie, how's your first little bit on the boat been?
Obviously it's beautiful here and I'm loving learning about all the sailing stuff and hoping to be of some help. on the next journey. Yeah, so far so good. Being in the ocean is always fantastic, so
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
Awesome. These guys have been adjusting to boat life really well. I gave them the whole like water conservation talk and, you know, just kind of minimalizing everything that you use. And they've taken to it really well. They didn't have their first shower for like
Yesterday.
8 days, so until yesterday.
Yeah.
You don't notice it when you're swimming in salt water all the time, you know. So yeah, this is what you're gonna be winching on. This is what you have to unlock.
Yep.
And yeah, it should be able to feed itself. But I kind of just like to like keep a hand on it while I'm winching. Just make sure you ease it enough. So we're gonna get us pointed and go in here and get some sails out. Yay! Are you guys ready for some real sailing? Slowly coming around into it. Okay. And you're gonna just take it all the way out. Get us back on our course here. See how the wind's kind of almost behind us? That is like perfect. So that's the scenario where you'd want to let more of this main sheet out, because you're wanting to let it out so it's almost sideways to the wind, right? So and
I got you.
this is perfect because it's traveled all the way down, right? So you can travel
so
this
now
thing
you
up,
can
and then you can let out that, right? So we're still not quite back on our heading. But, I mean, that actually looks pretty freaking good.
Wow.
Let us get the jib out next. So you're going to want to take the winch handle, put it on that one.
Yeah.
You're going to grind there and I'll easy gear forward. Just make sure you want to get a couple more wraps on it. So it needs to have like 3. What is that? Can you hear that down there?
Yeah, I heard beeping.
Go check, go check. Sounds like the shaft.
Whoa! Kill. Yeah, she's hot. She's real hot.
Probably an adjustable, which is in that tool bag, and then another maybe like channel locks. And you're gonna want to loosen it off, touch it so you can start seeing water coming. You'll loosen it off just a micromillimeter.
Okay.
Like, and then wait a second, and I'll put it into gear, and then it'll start spinning, and you'll start seeing if it's gripping or not. And if not, just say whoa, and I'll put it back. Yeah, basically what's happening is the nut, like it's supposed to drip a little bit of seawater every so often so that you know that it's lubricating the shaft and it's not heating up with friction of metal on metal. And so we've had it, like when I first went on my sea trial, it kind of did this and it was too tight, and then we had to loosen it off a little bit, and then it was too loose, too much water was coming in, so it's really like a finesse, fine-tuned thing. So what happened there obviously is that either it's too tight and it's not letting enough water flow through, so it's heating it up too much, or the nut has backed itself off completely and isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. Okay, can you take the wheel for a minute?
Yeah.
I need to go look
You'll
just for
need
my
this.
own peace of
Yeah.
mind. But we're
Show me
motoring
where
right
you
now.
stay.
Yeah. So we're just gonna try and keep this, these arrows.
Yeah, right
Just
there.
don't, like if you go too far to port, you don't want it behind us, like dead downwind, it'll flip the sail, right? You don't want it to get close.
Yeah.
So you're gonna wanna try and keep it, and you don't wanna get too close up this way either, right? Or you're pointing straight into the wind, it's gonna get really hard. So just kind of keep it in this kind of comfortable zone right here, just kind of off the side, slightly off the back, and it'll be good for a minute. You got it?
Yep.
Okay, slowly bring the throttle down. The throttle's that one. All the way down. a second. Okay, put it in gear. Bring up the throttle a little.
Show you guys that backing nut. So you can see that consistent drip. It's not supposed to be quite that bad. But what we were dealing with before is absolutely no water coming in, which is, well, worse. So we've got it leaking more than we want, but that means it's keeping cool and keeping lubricated. Mechanic AJ's back at her again. I don't know how well you can hear me, but just to show you what I'm saying. So now it's dripping every 15, 20 seconds, whereas before it was like a solid stream. Yeah, I think we got her.
We then shut the motor down and were able to glide along and sail smoothly. Nellie even got the chance to hand steer the boat under full sail and get a little taste of what pure sailing feels like. Well, it was definitely even more of a bumpy start than we thought, but crisis averted. We kind of just shut the engine down for a while. We're sailing along really slowly and got the nut tightened back up, so all is good. And we just fired the motor back up again so we can kind of catch up with all of our other buddy boats. But, I mean, it's perfect sailing conditions. Aside from the wind being slightly light, it's kind of just behind us. There's hardly any swell out here. And, but yeah. Unfortunately, if we weren't motoring right now, we'd only be doing like 3 knots. So we fired up the motor and we still got both the sails out. I think we're doing, what are we doing, Nellie? 7 knots?
7.1.
7.1, all right. So yeah, we are gonna be rounding the tip of Long Island here very shortly. And I imagine once we kind of round the island, the wind's gonna die off and we're gonna have to motor the rest of the way through the night. But feels good, we're doing good. We have handled all the problems very well as a team, I think. Good job, AJ.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's been
averted. You got it.
He's been the wrench turner while I've been trying to keep control of the helm. And even Nellie, we've stripped off her training wheels and she got behind the helm and was even hand steering there for a little while we were trying to figure things out. So good job, team.
Good job, team.
Good job, Nellie.
High five.
Triple 5. Woo! Well, we didn't film too much after the sun went down, and we made it into here to Long Island the other night. We had some really beautiful bioluminescence kind of sparkling off the boat, and the wind calmed down, so we just motored the last hour or so. Nellie did really good. She was like night watch for 3 hours, and she had a great time taking the helm. But unfortunately, Kiki over on Lost, when we left that morning, was throwing up and had a fever of 102 and was really sick. And we all felt fine all day, and then the last hour, of course, soon as we're coming into the anchorage at night in the dark, I started throwing up and getting really, really sick. So that made anchoring at night pretty tough because I'm literally puking overboard into the bioluminescence, which is kind of cool. But yeah, doing that trying to come in was not super fun. And then I was sick all night, and we spent yesterday just kind of, me and Kiki were just down for the count, and AJ and Nelly went to explore a little bit, and they've been swimming around, and so overall it's been good. How beautiful is this water though? This is what we've all been talking about with Long Island.